This week on the Orion Newscast. This year's women's conference highlighted the experiences and many stories of student and faculty members in one night celebrating the power of femininity.
Can you explain more like the theme of the conference?
So reclaiming your femininity is a theme for people who aren't normally stereotypically seen as feminine. And so this allows for people to feel empowered and uplifted for their stories and their own experiences.
At Multicultural Night, Chico State's clubs and diverse community demonstrated their talents and passion.
So we're pretty much here today because we believe it's important at a PWI. Chico State is considered a predominantly white institution. And we're here today because we believe it's important to highlight the different faces of Chico State.
But first, women's basketball took off on fire last week, scoring 71-47 against the Holy Names University Hawks.
Hi, I'm Karina Cope, sports reporter for the Orion, and I'm here in Acker Gym where Chico State women's Wildcats took on Holy Names University Hawks. This was the Wildcats' first home game of the season, and we saw a whopping 10 points scored by sophomore Haley Eisen. Also, it was freshman Kaylee Hermanson's first home game debut. Next, the Wildcats head up north to play at Concordia University on Friday, November 15th. Hi, I'm here with Maddie Wong of the Chico State women's basketball team. All right, Maddie, today was your first home game. How does it feel?
You know, you're the second one to say that to me, and I didn't realize that until we were in the middle of warm-ups. I've been playing basketball ever since I can remember, and for this to be the last home opener kind of just makes me realize that I have to take advantage of every opportunity I have left to actually play the game.
And as the only senior on your team, how are you looking to lead your team this year to success?
I always try to lead by example. I used to be a point guard, so point guards are naturally the leaders of the team because you have to tell everyone where to go and everybody their role. So now that I'm not point guard anymore, it's kind of given me an opportunity to expand my game a little bit. I just want to keep doing what I'm doing. I want to make it to the postseason, not have a repeat of last year, and it's my last year, so I want to make the season as long as I can.
And so you can speak from experience now. You have the most experience out of any player on this team. What would your advice be for newcomers like Hess, Hermanson, and Abdel Kader?
Oh gosh. Just keep working hard. I know it's going to be tough, and coach can be tough too, but just stay together and no matter what, we know that every time we put on the jersey, we have each other's back.
Hi, I'm here with Kaylee Hermanson of the Chico State women's basketball team. All right, Kaylee, you are one of two freshmen on this team. How is the transition different from high school ball to college ball, and how is the pace of the game different?
Oh, it's a whole new world. Not only do you have to play at a different level of speed, but I say every single detail is critiqued to the extreme. You have to pivot this way and you have to make a layup with this hand, and every single thing is you have to do it exactly perfect. So it's a completely different game. I would like to say I was prepared, but I think pretty much any college freshman you're basically just thrown in.
And what do you think you have that is special or unique to you that you would like to bring to the team this year?
But I think I work really hard and I have a really good work ethic, so hopefully that'll work out for me.
Yeah. Thank you, Kaylee. Great win tonight.
Men's basketball also led off against Holy Names for their first time in Acker Gym this season.
I feel like I played pretty well. I feel like in the first half, I gave us a spark that we needed. And in the second half, our lead was up by 10, up by 16. So I feel like my biggest thing was just to make sure that we keep the lead and just keep doing what we're doing. Last year, we tried to play Holy Names, but the campfire stopped us from playing. So the air quality was bad. So this year was the first year that we got to actually play them. They're a good team. They held their own. At the end of the day, we just try to run a play that's best for us, and then we just live with the results.
Just first home game, I think I was a little antsy, so a couple of wide open threes I missed. Those are going to fall in soon, so can't get discouraged about it and just keep playing. We knew it was going to be a good matchup. I think we need to clean up a lot of stuff defensively, and we're going to do that, obviously, when we get back to practice on Monday. I just think we're going to be great. So, yeah, it just takes time. It's only the third game of the season.
And our movie critic breaks down the fun and fury between Christian Bale and Matt Damon in Ford versus Ferrari.
Hello there. My name's Angel Ortega, the Orion's resident film critic, and today I'll be reviewing James Mangold's sports drama Ford versus Ferrari. The film takes place in the 1960s, where automotive designer Carroll Shelby, played by Matt Damon, and British race car driver Ken Miles, played by Christian Bale, designed a revolutionary car for the Ford Motor Company's racing division in an effort to defeat Enzo Ferrari's cars at the 24 Hours at Le Mans. As far as sports dramas go, Ford vs. Ferrari is not unique nor a standout in the genre. The film has its fair share of melodramatic action sequences, run-of-the-mill romantic arc, and household turmoil because of one conflict or another. These things aren't inherently bad, they're just things that audiences have seen time and time again and bring nothing new. Furthermore, the product placement in this film was not subtle. Almost every other scene in the first 2 acts of the film had some reference to Coca-Cola or Smirnoff vodka. I don't mind some product placement in media, and have come to expect it considering we live in a capitalistic society. But the product placement in this film was so obvious it became annoying. My last major critique of Ford vs. Ferrari is the runtime. I think 2.5 hours was a bit much considering what little this film had to deliver narrative-wise, and could have used some trimming. With that said, I enjoyed this film for what it was. Christian Bale's performance was stellar, which comes to no surprise as Bale is the type of method actor to truly immerse himself into his character. Though the action sequences, specifically with the race sequences, were to be expected in a sports drama, the sound design and editing in these sequences were impeccable. The crystal clear audio of the roar of Miles' engine during the race at Le Mans allowed me to immerse myself into the film during these scenes. Watching this film is probably the closest I'll ever experience riding a Ford GT40 without actually being in one. There's really not much else to say about this film. It's a decent sports drama with some cliches in the narrative, but the production of Ford vs. Ferrari redeems this film from falling flat. I recommend this film to anyone who's a car enthusiast or who simply wants to watch something fun on a weekend night. I give Ford vs. Ferrari 3 stars out of 5.
Hey, I'm Danielle from the Arts and Entertainment section of the Orion, and I'm standing outside the Women's Conference in the BMU, and I just came back from a workshop that talked about reclaiming women's bodies and just what that means to people, having boundaries and being empowered about your body and owning your body. So yeah, it's a really good time. The theme is reclaiming femininity, so a lot of the workshops are just talking about being feminine, how it's okay to reclaim that and take that back and feel really empowered. So yeah, having a lot of fun here and it's a good time.
Can you explain more the theme of the conference?
So reclaiming your femininity is a theme for people who aren't normally stereotypically seen as feminine, and so this allows for people to feel empowered and uplifted for their stories and their own experiences. So our keynote talked about trans feminism, and so how that translates into the empowerment of trans people, but also non-binary people and anyone else outside of the gender binary. So our conference was to highlight every life, and anyone who wants to identify as feminine can identify as feminine.
What does femininity mean to you?
Empowering other people and creating space. So the ability to recognize hey, I am a privileged as a feminine person, so I need to use my privilege to help other feminine people have the same abilities and spaces.
Just Unity Sisters, also known as Just Us, is a student organization on campus dedicated to the empowerment of Black women. It's also dedicated to the empowerment of Black women on and off campus, looking to work with the Black community here in Chico more. We have our 2 co-founders here, Kia and Kalinda, because they felt that we did not have a voice here on this campus.
We took the name Reclaiming Our Femininity and we said Reclaiming Our Time. And that's kind of a play on memes because Maxine Waters was reclaiming her time over and over. So we just kind of took that and ran with it. And what that means to me is just going against what people tell us that we should be. For example, I talked about my darkness and how some people see it as being ghetto, or some people look at me and say she's loud just because of my skin or hair. Some people just stereotype, put us all into one bubble.
In this area in particular, on the campus of Chico State, I think it's very important to understand intersectionality. And one of those intersections is recognizing us as young African American women on this campus. We are aiding and passing along information and being transparent in terms of our experiences on this campus here that a lot of people otherwise do not get to hear about. The informational aspect of what we just did today is an influence that can create and build relationships across this campus and build respect. Then people can start start to treat us how we would like to be treated.
Hello, my name is Sam, and I'm a member of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. I'm also an alumni. Well, as an alumni, I'm here because I believe it's really important to continue to support my brothers, because for my fraternity, we believe your membership and your responsibility to the organization is not over once you graduate. It's a lifetime. It's a lifetime of brotherhood and membership. So my brothers were performing tonight, so I felt like it was important for me to be here.
Absolutely. And you spoke to the entire crowd, which was really awesome. And can you tell me a little bit more about your fraternity and why this event is going on and why you guys are here?
Yeah, well, my fraternity has been around since January 9th, 1914. We were founded on the campus of our university, Washington, District of Columbia. We are an historically black fraternity, but over the years we've become very diverse and we're now welcoming all members. So we're pretty much here today because we believe it's important at a PWI. You know, Chico State is considered a predominantly white institution, and we're here today because we believe it's important to highlight the different faces of Chico State. We're here because this program and this event gives students of color and organizations of color the ability to be visible for other students of color who need something to connect to, so they can know they're not alone. There are people here who look like them, who are going through some of the same things that they're going through. And it's just a great way to educate the community. It's a great way to educate everyone at large about Chico State, about the culture at Chico State. And Chico State does value diversity, and how they show that is through events like this and by having students of color be the main show.
Thanks for watching the Orion Newscast. Please follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and find our stories on theorion.com.